Hey everyone, thank you for joining me as I break down the good and the bad of the new horror comedy flick Barbarian. This movie is directed by Zach Craig from The Whitest Kids You Know. If you know, you know about that. If you've seen those shorts in that TV show that ran for a couple seasons. It's starring Bill Skarsgård, the man who played It, Georgina Campbell, and Justin Long, who's been around forever doing different types of flicks, but mostly comedy. This has been one of my most anticipated movies of the year since I saw the trailer a couple weeks back, and I've been really excited because something about the trailer really caught my interest about the atmosphere and what was going on, the mystery. So did it live up to my lofty expectations? That's what I'm going to talk about in my review. Let's start with the premise. A young woman named Tess, played by Georgina Campbell, discovers the rental home she booked is already occupied by a stranger named Keith, played by Bill Skarsgård. Against her better judgment, she decides to spend the night, but soon discovers there's a lot more to fear than just an unexpected house guest. This movie reminds me of a combination of Malignant, Don't Breathe, and The Taking of Deborah Logan. The movie is tense, creepy, and depraved, but it balances it really well with some solid humor throughout, especially with the character that Justin Long plays, AJ. Director Zach Craig does a fantastic job of setting this tense, creepy tone in the beginning with some excellent camera work and a slick script that keeps you guessing while also entertaining you. You're trying to figure out the mystery of what's going on, but you're also getting some laughs and some entertaining character work by the actors as well. On a technical level, this movie is done really well. The cinematography is really great, especially in the night shots. The score and the sound design is fantastic. It's very creepy and it makes you feel absorbed in the movie and want to look over your own shoulder. And all the actors have great chemistry to go with this tone. They really play into the movie. They know what kind of movie they're in, and they do a fantastic job of not taking it too seriously, but taking it serious enough where you feel for them in this crazy situation that they're in. Georgina Campbell, who plays Tess, plays the character as a cautious person who has been taken advantage of in her past, and the movie does a lot to fill in the gaps with text messages and phone calls so that you don't have to get a exposition dump, so that you can fill up like her whole past and know what's going on. And I think the character opens up as the series goes on and the movie goes on, and I think that she becomes one of the kindest characters I've seen in a horror movie almost ever. A lot of time decisions that she made in this movie frustrated me because I just wanted her to do something better, but then she did something clever after that frustrating decision, so it balanced it out in a way. And she was a really great that final girl, that tries to survive this crazy situation that everybody's put in. Bill Skarsgård, he's always fantastic in everything I've seen him in. I've been a fan of him since Hemlock Grove on Netflix, one of the OG originals from that service. And he's not in this movie as much as I thought he was going to be, but the amount he's in, he does a great job of playing this character named Keith, who treads the line of being an overbearing, creepy guy and also like a very genuine, nice guy. You never really know what's going on. It plays with your perspective really, really well, and that's part of what keeps you guessing until we start getting the reveal of what's really happening in this Airbnb that they rented. And Justin Long, the MVP of this movie, he plays a sleazy TV show actor named AJ. He's perfect for this role. He has a very punchable face, and he does a lot of different things in this movie that makes you want to see him get destroyed and ripped apart. And Justin Long said in the press tour for this movie that the things that happens to him in this movie, that you're going to think and want him to go through these things because of all the crap that he does in this movie, and you're going to be happy to see him go through them. And I think he was 100% right. Speaking of the things that happen to him and others, the brutality of this movie is not overstuffed. It's not just a bunch of gore fest just for gore's sake. It's spread throughout and used well and properly. And I think that it grabs the tenseness from Don't Breathe, especially the beginning of that movie, and how tense it felt when they realized that blind man, spoiler alert, was nothing to mess with. And also the depravedness towards the end of that movie. Some of that is elected here with some of the weirdest, creepiest, and grossest stuff that I've seen in a horror movie all year. Combine that with the absurdity of something like Malignant and the creepiness of The Taking of Deborah Logan, you have something that's tense, absurd, depraved, but a exciting, entertaining, hilarious thrill ride that will be a crowd pleaser, especially if you go with your friends. Let's talk about the bad. Some of the character choices that the characters make here do get a little bit frustrating. I wish that the writing was a little tighter and they forced these characters in these situations instead of these characters choosing to go in these situations. And you're like, we could have definitely made a better choice so that none of this could have happened. Overall, I understood why. It's just like, this is this horror movie, we got to get into these situations and see some people get torn apart. But I wish that there was just a little bit more tighter writing to push things along. Also, for a movie that's called Barbarian and is horror, R-rated, there is some gruesome, gory stuff going on, but it's not as much as I thought it was going to be, which is not terrible because there's a lot other things going on in this movie, and I really appreciated that it wasn't just a gore fest, but I expected a little bit more, some, dismemberment and action and stuff like that. Let's talk about verdict. So I had an absolute blast watching this in the theater. This is the perfect movie to go watch with a bunch of friends, and I think that this is a movie you should go see in the theater with a bunch of friends, and so you can be with your friends and the rest of the people in the theater. Hopefully a lot of people go see this so you can laugh, be tense, be scared, you can groan, be frustrated all together, so you all can be absorbed in this movie and just be entertained to no end. This is an excellent talk to your screen and point and scream like don't go that way kind of horror thriller comedy movie that is a crowd pleaser. And I think this is a great showcase for everyone involved, from the director to people who did the sound design to all the actors and the cinematography and the costume or the makeup for the villain or the monster in the movie. And with that said, I'm going to give this movie a B. Comment all your thoughts down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate Barbarian? If you saw the movie, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you thought above my review of the movie. If you have not, let me know if this is something that you will check out based on my review. If you are already a subscriber, hit that like button. And if you're not, hit the like button, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified of my reviews, reactions, and more. And you can check out more of my content right now.